I was asked in the comments of another video, what is my favorite piece of equipment and why? And in this video, you're gonna learn about my favorite piece of equipment and the fact that it delivers the most instant results, offering profound corrections and relief of the body. It lengthens the spine, it strengthens the body, it corrects postural imbalances. It really adjusts your body. Every time I get on this, I get some sort of crack and adjustment within my body in the best way possible. Everything feels opened, everything feels stretched, but supported while I'm doing that throughout. You can gain flexibility in your back and in your shoulders. It's truly phenomenal. So if I had to choose my favorite piece of equipment, it would be the spine corrector. It does exactly what it's named after. It corrects your spine. It offers support throughout. You have this hump here that apparently, it's thought that Joe originally created it from a whiskey barrel. I have also heard since then from a very reliable source that it was created from a beer barrel. Now, I thought the whiskey was a little cooler, but I'll take the big beer barrel. Anyways, this hump allows you to open up your spine and still be connected through the rest of your body. Pilates equipment is really freaking expensive, and this is under $1,000, okay? I think it's like somewhere under 600. For Pilates equipment, that's a big deal. Like, this is solid. It's a solid piece of equipment if you get a classical one. Not all the other, they're not all created equal. But it's called the spine corrector. It does exactly what it's named to do. It's going to correct your spine, and in turn, one, you're gonna walk away already feeling better. This is the instant results that I'm talking about. This is what I do after teaching. If I only have a few minutes, I hop on here, because when you're teaching client after client, you're spotting, you're bending, you're so focused on, at least I am, you're so focused on teaching that you don't even realize till you're done that you're like, oh my gosh, I need to go the other way. I need to go backwards. I need to open up. And this is really good for that. This is gonna help with back flexibility. It's gonna help with shoulder flexibility. If you're wanting to do back bends or anything like that, this is where you start. You're only as young as your spine is flexible. This is one of Joe's sayings. And it's so, so true. He says you can be 20 and old and 80 and young, depending on how much movement you have in your spine. This is going to help that so much. Getting feedback, this gives you tactile feedback, getting that kind of feedback, getting support while you do exercises is going to allow you to do them better. And of course, the more correct you do them, the more benefits you're going to get out of it. Go backwards like you're going over a barrel, because the tendency is to want to slouch. So if you think if you're sitting and going backwards over the barrel, then you're going to lift and come back up. So whenever you need to have a flat, straight spine, you imagine going over the barrel, it's just gonna keep you lifted and straight. So I use this as a reference point a lot. Okay, so what I would like to do is show you a little bit of how this works. I'm gonna grab a drink of water real quick. Okay, I don't know why that had a slight Southern accent in it. So the first thing is, I'm gonna also put my hair up real quick. Does it look okay? Okay, so the first thing I wanna show you is the arm series. And there's the arm series, and then there's the stretch with bar. You don't actually need this. I'm gonna use, these are 1 pound weights for the arm series, just because they help me go back a little farther. You don't need them though. Bar will come in a second. So the arm series, in a perfect world, you are sitting close to the barrel, and then you can grab behind your head and lengthen over. Now you really want to lift the chest to lengthen the back of the neck versus being this way. So this is what's gonna really help transfer, instead of straining the neck, transfer it to opening the chest and the upper back, because you're trying to draw that chin in. Now, sometimes you have to start down a little bit versus all the way against the barrel. And I'll show you what that looks like. So now my weights, I always set them right by my hips so I can grab them. And you're gonna inhale up, exhale, reach. And now I'm pulling my ribs into the barrel for that tactile feedback. Inhale up, exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale. The exhale is going to automatically help put the ribs in. Inhale up, exhale. Now you lift that chest and pull the chin drawn in. Draw that chin in. And then over time, your goal is to be over it more. I gotta lift my chest and lengthen. There we go. Clearly, I need to do this a little more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And I switch off between my fingers reaching and grabbing to see where I feel like I am doing this the best. Okay, and then you can still be down here. And there's multiple things like the arm circles. Use your brain, Sammy. Exhale. When you reach back, you're really reaching from the lower back. The arms start in the lower back. So I'm not just reaching out of my shoulder and doing this. I'm actually lifting from here first, which in turn pulls my stomach in. And now I'm lifting my chest as my arms go down. And this would go in both directions. And then we've got the scissor, pulse, pulse. And now you're really just trying to connect in. So I had to go a little deeper so I could feel my stomach pulling in to the barrel. And then there's the hug. You open, you hug, cross at those elbows. Sometimes I even put my hands here because this is what I would do to my client is push the shoulders down wide. Inhale, exhale, and press. And then to come up, I put the weights down. You can keep your knees bent or straighten them. I lift my head with my hands. I've been upside down a while now. And then I'm going to reach forward and stretch my spine in the other direction. You can go forward like you would your roll up. And the roll up is also really nice to do here. And sometimes I use the weights for that also, where you're all the way back. And then the arms go and you lift your head and you exhale and you pull all the way forward. And then you go back and you're moving the spine in all different shapes, but now it's teaching you pull down through that stomach as you go and peel off of the barrel. Okay, so that's the arm series there. Now I'm going to show you the stretch with bar. Also, side note, especially if you are a newer Pilates instructor, fix those pants. You don't really want to put this on, you don't really want to. You don't want to put this on a raised surface. It's not safe to put your clients on a raised surface. I'm doing it because I'm very confident in myself. Been doing it a while and it's better view for the camera. You should learn that in your comprehensive certification, but I just feel like I need to say it because safety first. There's no point of doing Pilates if you're going to injure yourself. If you injured yourself, chances are it wasn't in a classical studio. Okay, sorry, stretch with bar. So you start towards the edge. And I have a very long back and torso. So in order to get my head on top of my shoulders in this position where I feel like my neck is reaching long, I am all the way off here. So this is a great way to start because you're not bending so far. Now I grab that bar, mine's slightly weighted. You can lift your knees and bend them. Often this actually puts your pelvis in a better position and activate the back of the legs, or you can keep them straight. You're going to inhale up, same thing. Exhale, reach back and pull the ribs in. You're reaching out of your lower back. Inhale, exhale. So it feels different on this side. And it actually is this is a better place to start because it's less of a hump when you use the steps. So it's less challenging. It's going to stretch you a little less. And then you can move backwards as you warm up. That was a better one. See, I pulled into the barrel now. You still want to make sure that when you pull in that your neck's not sliding. So the back of your neck is long and then you pull in. And then you can scooch all the way back, which I'm now going to put this down just because of where I am spaced here. I'm going to bend my knees here to anchor my pelvis down. And then to come out of it, hands go behind the head, chin to the chest to help your head. You know, it's been hanging back there a while. Roll up. And I really like to make my clients keep their knees bent here and think like monkey, if you know Pilates equipment, monkey on the tower. But you're going to pull your belly button to your knees, chest to your thighs, chest to your knee, and try to bend that forehead over and pull the stomach in to really try and open through here. And then if you'd like, you can straighten out those legs and go more. Okay, so that was the arm series and the stretch with bar, and then the leg series. Now, if you have somebody that is very kyphotic, so really this way with a big rounded upper back and oftentimes lordotic in the cervical spine in the neck or the lower back, the lumbar spine, then the arm series is not really the best option, honestly. And you would think that it would be because it's going to help open up, but they would be so far away from this. There is a big debate on those about putting pillows and then putting someone's head on them. So many people have, some classical instructors say, do it the way that it was intended to be done. And some say, well, put the pillows down because you still want to do it. I do believe in putting some pillows down if the person needs it, because I still feel like going backwards is really good. If I need to stack like 4 pillows to get them there, you use the small barrel, or there's other things that you can do to help get them to that point. And some people will never get to that point, and it's okay. But the leg series would actually be more beneficial. It's going to open the chest and put the neck in alignment, and they don't have to think about it, and then they get to think about other things. So let me show you that. Getting into the leg series, you sit just kind of below the apex of the hump. One foot goes up, one foot goes down. You grab the handles, and then you slide your butt a little bit so that now you're supported. When you go back, your chin stays to your chest. Your shoulders must hit the mat before your head. It's not safe to let that chin come away. So now I'm going down with my chin just like that, and I'm pushing. Now I can bring my foot up, and then I go down, and my head landed. Well, my head kind of landed at the same time, but you want to make sure that your back of your shoulders are down. Now I do have some people that have to go out this way because it's too big of a hump, especially if you don't have a small barrel. But of course, change happens when you're uncomfortable. So, as much as possible, you want to be uncomfortable to make change happen. Now, on this barrel, you bring your knees to tabletop. Now, you want to make sure that you're pulling into the barrel. So look at this. It's honoring the natural curve of my spine. So my lower back still gets to have its concaved shape. I'm not up here rounding it out. Doesn't mean that we don't ever round the lower back, but when you're working on lengthening the spine and engaging and strengthening your abdominals in your back, it's not really the place to round. Many things can be done here. The lower that you bring your legs, the more abdominal work it's going to be, because as your legs go out, you need balance. So you don't want to let it take you. You need to pull back into the barrel and keep your head and shoulders down. So that in turn is going to make your stomach work. So as you go out, now you're pulling weight into your head, shoulders, and pulling the ribs in. So the lower that you go, the more challenging this becomes, and you're going to get more of an abdominal workout. Now you can do scissors.
I said scissors, I meant circles in both directions. Again, you really want to, in the beginning, keep it small. And notice how I'm not going up this way. You want to also be able to move your legs past 90 without having to bring your hips up. So I always say, you know, your pelvis is in like California and your chest is in New York, and what happens in California should not affect New York. And it's not going to do it on its own. You have to find that balance within. And of course, the lower that you go, now my hips are opening, but now I lost it a little. So I really have to pull in. And I feel my lower back working on that as well. I'm looking at the camera, but you don't need to turn your head when you're like this. You should keep it straight up. Then from the mat order, the scissors and the bicycles, and on the mat, you have to hold your hips up in this angle without putting weight on your wrists. And here, it's going to let your spine go in that position to really open up the lower back and try to get that neck in alignment without you having to struggle to keep your hips up. So this is going to build that series on the mat. There's walking. There's beats. There's wraps. There's helicopter. There's the stretch from side to side, which is really nice. You're opening up so many things in the lower back. Then there's rolling in and out. And you come back and both knees go to one ear and come back. Now this is where I'm really opening up my lower back. Feels really nice. I always get adjustments here. And then there's more advanced things where you can circle onto your head. And then there's even, more advanced things. I have to really get my body over here because my back is so long, where you teaser up.
The other thing is when you do like the ab series here or the 100, there's two ways that you can do it. You can be on the edge and do your 100 here. And it is taking tension out of my neck. And then it's going to make sure that you lift up without collapsing like a lot of people try to on the mat. This is a whole other thing, but you want your chest and chin to pull together and then lift from your abdominals here, but not this way. Because then we're building bad posture. We're building our muscles for bad posture. When you sit all the way back, you're trying to lift up this way. Pull in and lift up. Now this can also be that one leg stretch. This can be your double leg or Joe's way. You can do it here. And then you push your stomach all the way into the barrel. It gives you that great tactile feedback. Then there's something that's really cool also, that if you have trouble with some of the ab series, bringing your legs to you, if you're going, so Joe didn't do the scissors and the lower lift and stuff like that, but it's still in the classical order. So you can put your body here, and then now your scissors, you're reaching still so that you're not completely compressed, but now it's bringing your leg to you, which is really nice. There's a lot of side stretches that you can do here. If you do your mermaid here, you can go over this way, up, and then when you go this way, you can still connect to that barrel here so that you're not just completely pulling over, but there's that two-way stretch. So it's more giving you, again, that feedback to be able to do that stretch. And then back extension is really neat. It's gonna support your swan. It's gonna make you have to really balance in like double leg kick and stuff. So I'm gonna show you a little bit. So on your swan, and of course with the barrel, what can be kind of tricky, especially with prone exercises like on your stomach, is that every body is different. So just because I'm at this part of my stomach on the top of the barrel doesn't mean you will be if you have a short torso. So there is some like playing around and figuring out, moving it and figuring out, you know, whose body that is on the barrel where they have to be. So, and I might even have to play around. So if you go for your swan here, lengthen, lift, and back down. It's supporting you a lot more. Now into your swan dive, lifting the legs and bringing your chin down. You can use your arms here to feel that seesaw type motion. Of course, to do it without on this, it's nicer to put them to the side because now you're balancing, which is going to use the back muscles a lot. What's nice is I don't feel myself sinking in my lower back like I do sometimes on the mat, and I really have to focus and fix it. I feel the back muscles really working. And then for things like single leg kick, if you don't feel that exercise in the backs of your legs, you will on here. So you can come onto your forearms, or you can actually lower down more. My mentor, Dana Santee, does this tripod position. That's really nice. So you still have to hold yourself up. Ooh. But it's going to allow your spine to lengthen more. And now you're lengthening your legs up. Now, in order to keep those legs up nice and high, you are going to feel the backs of your legs. You can also do it here. It's just nice because it puts your body in a good position. And then for double leg kick, this is a difficult one. You really have to balance. So you have to find where you can bring your hands behind your back and lift your legs without sinking forward. So it's going to be a challenge no matter if you have longer legs or a longer torso. It's just going to be a challenge. So you kick both legs, and this is what wants to take you down. So you really have to tighten up. And then you're going to reach back and you're going to lift up this way, and you got to find where you're balancing. And then when you come back down, you can't just throw it away. Exhale, inhale, lift. Exhale, inhale, lift. And it's going to take a lot more muscle and balance and control, which I really, really like on here. I don't know if I said this. If I have been teaching all day and doing all this stuff, this is what I will spend 10 minutes on, even 5 minutes before I go get my kids from school, because I will instantly feel all the tension release out of my body, all the adjustments get to happen. I can walk taller, I feel lighter, everything just feels like it's being put back into place where it should be. I get headaches, guys. I gotta take this out. And then some twisting things before I forget. If your legs are like this and you're over this barrel, then you can twist and lift your heart and go backwards. This feels so good. Just for I feel a stretch all in my nerves too. All right, so this was a suggestion from a comment in another video. I thought it was a great question. Make sure that if you would like to see a certain video or a workout or anything, that you do leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really does help out the channel. And of course, if you have any questions on spine correctors, you can ask those in the comments as well, and I will respond to you. I hope this enlightened you about a piece of equipment that's often not shown in the Pilates world. It's always reformer class, tower class, and this is really one of the most life-changing pieces for me anyways, and for my clients. So go take a private, go to a classical studio and Tell them you want to learn the spine corrector. You're going to learn everything eventually, but I hope you get a chance to try this out. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time for a workout or tutorial or answering any questions. See you later. Bye.